Hey guys, it's Simeon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the, what's today's date? 18th. Wow, I looked at that way wrong. 18th of May, 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. I thought tonight's Raw was an easy show to watch. I didn't think it was all that great, but I felt like it was an easy show to watch. Everything to me flowed very well. And yeah, it wasn't bad. I wouldn't say that it was one of the better Raws that we've seen in a while, but I didn't think it was bad nonetheless. But with that, before we get into it, let's see who's here with us in the live chat. We do got Kristen McNutt, Eric Tate, Nico Bellick, Jack Dawson, Young Tev, Derek Bocek, NMD Wrestling Show, Sinclair Saturday, Wayne Montgomery, and so many more of you. Give me 1 second to change something. All right, we're good. So, like I said, tonight's Monday Night Raw, I felt flowed very well. I thought it was a okay show. Wouldn't call it great or anything. But I thought it accomplished a number of things as far as setting stuff up for the pay-per-view. And that's what you need to do with your television. Your television is a lot of little things setting up for the pay-per-view. So the show kicked off with a video package, basically recapping all of Becky Lynch's biggest accomplishments and her announcement last week. And this video, I shit you not, this video made me think that Becky's never coming back. Like, this was you've retired. Here's a retrospective of your entire career and the biggest moments kind of deal. Like, I assume she comes back eventually and gets the biggest pop ever in wrestling, or one of. Because that moment when Becky comes back after being gone for at least a year, and you hear that, whoa, and that place is just gonna erupt as long as there's fans in attendance, which I would hope by then there are. So, I don't know. I feel like the way that video package was, it was like I'm done, bye kind of deal. But hey, we'll see how it all goes. Whoa, my camera just changed on me. What just happened? Let me fix that for real quick. That was weird. If you guys are watching here, my camera kind of just wanted to change. Let's do this. Brighten that a little bit. Go into these settings. Make it a little less blue. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Add a little more saturation. All right, now we're good. We're good. All right, so that was the opening of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And then they also said, tonight we're getting the first match, a WWE first brand invitational. And I go, WWE first, brand versus brand? What's Survivor Series then? Because that's always been, at least since 2016, brand versus brand. So I don't know. Next up, Charlie Caruso was in the ring. She introduced Randy Orton as Randy Orton challenged Edge to a wrestling match, which could be possibly the greatest wrestling match ever. That's what she said. No joke. Caruso asked Orton about his challenge. Orton asked if it was so hard to understand the concept of a straight-up wrestling match. He said, we're here in World Wrestling Entertainment, and wrestling was the basis of what we do. Edge was the better man at WrestleMania, and Orton said, I could, what's the word he said? He said, I could admit that Edge was the better man at WrestleMania, which, hey, kudos on Randy Orton for admitting it, because, Randy Orton's the heel, And usually it's like, he caught me. I got caught. He didn't really beat me, blah, blah, blah kind of bullshit. You know what I mean? So, Orton said, who needed tables? Who needs chairs? Who needs ladders? He doesn't. Orton said, no other athlete, no other wrestler can do what he does in the ring. Orton saw doubt in Edge's eyes last week because his grit and passion have faded away. Now all Edge has done was doubt himself with fear. Edge then made his way out to the ring. Edge got in the ring and wouldn't let Orton say anything. He said that Orton speaks a lot of truths, and it gave him a lot to think about. Edge knew that this was a game of chess to Orton, which is why he didn't rush into his next move. Edge said that Orton thought this was all a game. Edge saw Orton smirking and said this was just a paycheck to him, isn't it? Edge said that this life was handed to Randy Orton, and it was his backup plan when other things didn't go as planned. Edge said that Orton didn't sit up countless nights as a kid wanting to be WWE champion, dreaming of all of this, or saving his money just to go to a show and seeing his favorite wrestlers. Orton didn't cry the night he won the Intercontinental Championship like Edge did. And I go, maybe he didn't cry when he won the IC title, but he sure did cry when he won the World Heavyweight Championship from Benoit. Edge says that he knew that winning the Intercontinental Championship would set him on a path to be considered one of the best workhorses in the business. And he is, or was. Edge noted that it was Orton who he beat for the Intercontinental Championship. Orton said he was getting tired of all these speeches, but then Edge stopped him again. Edge noted that Orton has also never come back from a career-threatening injury like he did. Orton cut him off again and asked if he accepted the challenge, and Edge yelled, and I quote, "Yes, I accept your damn challenge." Orton smirked and left the ring. Samoa Joe also said that this has a chance to be the greatest wrestling match of all time. I don't know about going that far. I'm calling it the greatest wrestling match of all time. I could see it being really good and hopefully better than the last one. But I don't know about calling it the greatest wrestling match of all time. No, I wouldn't go that far. So backstage, Seth Rollins told Murphy that he had a revelation, and he invited Murphy to join him in the ring coming up next. So Rollins and Murphy were in the ring. Rollins said that, or as Rollins was entering the ring, the announcer stated that Rey Mysterio is in critical condition, but they cannot check on his eye until the swelling goes down. That's the same update they gave us freaking Wednesday on .com. Nothing new. Rollins, in the ring, said sometimes you lose yourself to find who you truly are. When he lost to Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank, he fell to a place so dark he thought he may never escape. However, with no darkness, there is no light. And now he sees the light better than even ever before. He thanked one man for helping him see this in Rey Mysterio. He knew that people thought that what he did to Rey was unforgivable. He called Mysterio a sacrifice, which would allow him to be the leader he needed to be. He had a message for Mysterio. What happened to you was a blessing in disguise. He also wanted to say something to Mysterio now, so he wouldn't have to say it when they meet again. You're welcome. This is when Humberto Carrillo would interrupt. Carrillo came down here and said that Rey Mysterio is a hero to many, millions even, and that he's Carrillo's idol. And Rollins is a coward for what he did. He jumped in the ring, but Murphy stepped between he and Rollins. Rollins said, hey, I'm not dressed to compete. So if you want to fight me, that ain't going to happen. But Murphy's got a match later with Aleister Black, yet he's ready to compete now. If you want, you can take on my disciple Murphy. And all men agreed, and we got Murphy versus Humberto Carrillo. This was the first match of the night, and it didn't start till the 30-minute mark of the show. It began during a break also. So it was like 3 minutes in by the time we got to it. And it's like, this is pre-recorded. Why not start it when you need to start it? Anyways, Carrillo hit a dive, but became distracted by Rollins, who did nothing, so I don't know why he was distracted. Murphy followed with a knee strike and a Murphy's Law for the pin. Match was not that long. Wasn't much to it either. And he picks up the victory. Murphy, quick win before his big match later. Murphy then attacked Carrillo after the match until Aleister Black ran down to make the save. Rollins walked away up the ramp as they brawled in the ring. Murphy ducked a black mass and bailed himself. Black then checked on Carrillo. So in the back, Corbin's yelling at random people, stagehands and referees and everything about his locker room and having to travel from one side of the building to the other to go to catering. He's a king and they should bring the catering and food to him when he's hungry. He's yelling at a ref, and I was waiting for the ref to go, I'm sorry, but none of that's in my job description. It would have been funny. So he's like, this is what we're going to do. And he starts telling the ref how he wants the ref to ref his match later tonight, and then they cut the break. Come back, sit down, interview with Liv Morgan. Morgan said her mom was her hero. Her mom didn't have a job or much of a savings account, but she was determined to never quit. A few weeks ago, Morgan had a match against Charlotte Flair, the pride and joy of WWE. Morgan didn't win, but she learned stuff from that. She learned that she was just like her mother, and she learned that one day, maybe, she can be the Raw Women's Champion. Okay. Charlotte then came out to cut a promo and have a match. Charlotte says she's the hardest working person on all three brands. She was the face of Raw, a mentor in NXT, and made a special appearance on Friday Night SmackDown where Bayley challenged her to a champion versus champion match. She said she was happy to teach Bayley that there were levels to being a champion. She said she knew that Ruby Riott also had something to say to her and invited her out here. And I go, when did Ruby say she had something to say to you? I never once heard anything about Ruby wanting to talk to Charlotte. This made no sense, but okay. So Ruby came down. She actually didn't say anything. And then they went face-to-face with Charlotte. She went face-to-face with Charlotte. And then the announcers say, these two will have a matchup next. And I go, what? What happened to Charlotte saying, Ruby, I know you have things to say to me? What are we supposed to believe? Ruby spoke with her fists? So we got another quick match here. The match started during the break. Charlotte missed a chop on the outside and chopped the ring post. She played up the injured hand throughout the rest of this match. Riott attacked, but Charlotte grabbed her by the hair and drove her into the post herself. Riott fought back into the ring and hit a falling backwards senton for 2. Riott followed later with a schoolgirl for a 2. Charlotte blocked a Riott kick, stomped her, and applied the figure 8 for the submission victory. Bada boom, Charlotte picks up the quick win. Only a couple minutes long here. So in the back, Charlotte Caruso attempted to interview Bobby Lashley, but he was interrupted by MVP. MVP said they weren't doing business together, but Lashley was too busy dealing with clowns like R-Truth and his wife, the lovely Lana. Before Lashley can go on, MVP said, hey, we've got guys like Corbin coming here to challenge the champion when you should be the one challenging the champion. Like I told you before, it's been 13 years since you got to challenge for that title. You need to do something about it. He also asked how effective he thought his full Nelson would be against the WWE champion. MVP worried, though, how much Lashley even wanted to be considered a challenger. MVP figured Lashley thought that he didn't need trophies because he already has a trophy wife. Lashley was annoyed, but MVP calmed him down and asked him, think about the things that I've said. MVP was good here. MVP cut a really good promo. So the Street Profits approached the axe throwing competition, which was being held in a field with other Vikings, I guess you can say. They kind of played this out throughout the show. They were welcomed by the Viking Raiders and a bunch of others. They had a fire going and offered the fire smoke as a gift. You know, we want the smoke. Yeah, we want the smoke. We want the smoke. Anyways, nice play on that. Angelo Dawkins was about to tell them that when they saw the smoke, they didn't mean actual smoke, but Montez Ford stopped him. Ford noted how dumb it would be to not accept a gift from a bunch of Vikings with axes, which was actually a funny line. Ford accepted their gift. Ivar tossed a practice throw, and Ford questioned if they should go through with this. Dawkins was more confident and assured him, "We got this, fam." Asuka then had a celebration for being the new Raw Women's Champion. Kairi Sane set this up. Kairi Sane was in the ring, balloons all around, and she introduced Asuka. Asuka came out and thanked Sane for the flowers that she gave her. Asuka was very happy. She spoke in Japanese about becoming Raw Women's Champion. Sane showed pictures of Asuka's NXT Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, Tag Team Champion, and now Raw Women's Champion. Sane noted, "You're a Grand Slam Champion." And Asuka goes, "Grand Slam Champion? Yeah, Grand Slam Champion." And they celebrated. Sane played a song on the recorder. Not sure if that was supposed to be Asuka's theme or not. Before they were interrupted by one Nia Jax. Jax said that there was nothing to celebrate because she was literally handed the belt. Jax called Asuka a temporary champion who would be replaced one day by her. Jax said that they would have a real party when she becomes the champion. Asuka attacked her for interrupting her party and sent her out of the ring with a running hip attack. Effective. I'll say that for sure. Charlie Caruso in the back interviewed King Corbin. She asked if he had any doubts about facing Drew McIntyre. Corbin said that he's the one who chose this match tonight. Corbin is also the one who carried him for over a year. Corbin knew how dangerous he was, and beating Brock was all the evidence he needed. Corbin also knew how to expose Drew McIntyre and his weaknesses, and that would help him win tonight. Corbin said the next time they fought, it would be in the main event of WrestleMania, where Corbin would beat him for the championship. They showed McIntyre watching the promo elsewhere on a screen, and he appeared amused, as some would say. We then learned that Kevin Owens will be on the show tonight, making his return, first time since WrestleMania. He'll be hosting Kevin Owens' show with Selena Vega and her posse, or crew, or gang, whatever you want to call them. We then got a 2.5 minute match. Bobby Lashley and R-Truth. Truth did some dumb comedy before the match, including calling the full Nelson the Nelson from The Simpsons. He also threatened to go after Tom Brady yet again to get the 24/7 championship. Lashley used the full Nelson, slapped it on, applied it, boom, tap out in like I said, 2.5 minutes, if that. MVP appeared on the stage and applauded the victory. They then cut to Lana backstage, who was watching on a TV. She freaked out for some reason and tossed some stuff around. I don't get why she got mad that her husband won. Was it because MVP went out there? I don't know. Jack Dawson with a Super Chat donation. He says, "Tim, do you see McIntyre retaining at Backlash against Lashley and Cross and Bliss holding the women's tag titles till SummerSlam? Keep up the good work." Thank you for the Super Chat donation. I do see McIntyre retaining. And as of right now, I don't see who can challenge Bliss and Cross at the moment. So them holding it to SummerSlam, not a bad prediction. So in the back, Asuka and Sane continued their celebration. They then went their separate ways. And Jax, I guess, was watching them. So, we then got the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. It was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defending their belts against the Iconics. The Iconics wore gold and white gear. Billie Kay thought Bliss and Cross should just hand over the belts. Kay and Royce called themselves the Future. The announcers missed it, but there was a spot where Kay tried to jab to the neck that helped lead to the victory from last week, but Bliss ducked and clocked her with a right hand of her own. Bliss followed with a twisted Bliss, but Royce broke up the cover. Royce repeatedly drove Bliss shoulder first into the post. The referee demanded she stop, and when she didn't, we got the disqualification. So it's like, are we keeping this feud going? Like I said, I don't see anybody else primed, I guess you can say, to challenge for the belts. But with this being a DQ finish here, it does lead me to believe that the Iconics may try and get another shot, but I don't know. So, yeah, another DQ finish. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were visibly upset in the ring. Bliss and Cross were content with winning. In the back, Kairi Sane continued to play her on her recorder when she was attacked by Nia Jax. Also in the back, the Iconics were actually arguing over being disqualified. Kay said that this was their one chance, and Royce blew it. Kay then slapped Royce. Royce cried. Kay cried, apologized, and they hugged, and I thought this was a very missed moment. Should have had Billie Kay the one get the DQ, so then Peyton Royce can slap Billie Kay, and then Billie Kay can look at her and go, "Are you joking me?" And then Peyton can be like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me." Then they cry and hug. I really think Peyton should have slapped Billie so we can get the "Are you joking me?" Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. So Asuka shows up as the trainer's checking on Kairi Sane. Asuka asks what happened. The trainer says she's going to be fine. Asuka's like, "Kairi, are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm okay. And she's like, "Is she going to be okay?" And the trainer reaffirmed her, "Hey, she's going to be fine. She's going to be all right." And Asuka was just like, "What happened? What happened?" She's like, Jax. And so Asuka went on the fucking hunt. After a commercial break, we saw Nia walking around looking all smug when she was confronted by Asuka. Asuka didn't try to attack her from behind or anything. Asuka got right into her face. Yelled at her for attacking Kairi. And Nia was kind of just like, whatever. Blew her off and kept on walking. So what does Asuka do to get her attention? Grabs her fucking braids and just yanks on them. She then got the attention of Nia Jax, kicked her in the head. Nia falls down, and Asuka's just yelling at her as she walks off. Next up, we got a submission match between Shayna Baszler and Natalya. Match went about 4 minutes. Baszler went for a sharpshooter, but Natalya countered into a sharpshooter of her own early. Baszler got to the ropes, but we learned there's no rope breaks in this submission match, which in past submission matches there have been, so I don't know. Natalya then lost leverage and had to let go. Natalya continued the attack and applied a knee bar, but Baszler countered it into the Karafuda clutch, which allowed her to make Natty tap out and pick up the victory. I thought these two worked really well together for the short time that they had. Baszler then limped away up the ramp as Natty was visibly upset in the ring. Ring crews then came down to set up the ring for the Kevin Owens show, and Natty was not having it. As they set stuff up, Natty started throwing it back out. What were they called? Easels or whatever, tripod easels for the Kevin Owens show sign. She threw those out of the ring. Desk chairs for them to sit in, threw those out of the ring. Samoa Joe then talked about how this is not the behavior fitting of a Hart, her family's legacy, and that her behavior right now is nothing shy of ridiculous. We then see Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory in the back arguing. Selena Vega came in to stop the arguing. She asked each of them to get along. Tonight, they need to be on the same page. So she asked him one by one, "Andrade, do you understand me?" He goes, "Understand, I'm the champion." She then asked Angel Garza, "Do you understand me?" He said, "I do." She then asked Austin Theory, "Do you understand me?" He said, "Yes." She said, "Yes, what?" And as he's staring a hole in Andrade, he says, "Yes, ma'am." Then they showed some social media posts of people congratulating Becky Lynch last week before we got the Kevin Owens show. Owens said that Owens thanked Natty for throwing the junk out of the ring that he didn't really need. Owens said he hasn't been on Raw since WrestleMania because, well, he's been a little banged up. He said he got his big moment at WrestleMania, but that came with a price. Owens said he's fine now and he's ready to go. He then introduced his guest, Selena Vega, Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. The Owens sarcastically applauded them as they made their way down to the ring and thanked them for joining. He stood on the apron, and Vega knew why he wanted them on the show. She said, "They've been dysfunctional, so you want a Jerry Springer moment that's going to get you ratings." Vega talked about how good they are all being now. She called Andrade a champion among insects. No, a god among insects. Garza broke faces and broke hearts. Theory is a prodigy who was that damn good. And Vega said, "Well, myself, I'm that damn good as well." They all came from the streets, and they've all survived. She said that they built sidewalks in those streets for people like Owens. She noted that Owens stood on the apron and wouldn't even stand in the ring with them. Owens said, "I know how this goes. I get in the ring, you guys are going to attack me." He said, "Also, I'm here because you're not the only guest, and I don't want the ring to be too crowded when my next guest does come out." And out would come Apollo Crews. Well, Crews ran down and attacked Andrade, hammered away on him. The two slipped out of the ring as they kept on brawling. Angel Garza and Austin Theory tried to get involved. Kevin Owens then got involved as we went to a break. So Kevin Owens and Apollo Crews teamed up to take on United States Champion Andrade and Angel Garza with Zelina and Austin Theory. At ringside, this match went 3 minutes. 3 freaking minutes. Another short-ass match. Owens made a hot tag early to Crews. Theory tried interfering, but he clocked Garza by accident with the forearm. Crews followed this up with a sit-out powerbomb and picked up the victory. After the match, Andrade attacked Austin Theory. He just had enough of it. Andrade and Garza beat him down, and Zelina Vega just yelled at him. She said that he wasn't good enough, and she slapped him across the face. Andrade and Angel Garza then grabbed Theory and threw him into a couple of chairs and just left him laying there, and he never got up. He just sat there. They got Charlie Caruso, unfazed by all of this, smiling in the back, ready to talk to Drew McIntyre. McIntyre said Mondays were always great. They're always great for a Claymore party. The Brand to Brand Invitational was perfect, and this was a dream match of his. This was the dream match that he can have with this Brand to Brand Invitational. I go, out of everybody on SmackDown, the one guy you wanted was Corbin? What the fuck? He said he got his dream, and tonight it's against Corbin. McIntyre knew Corbin would do whatever it takes to win. He said that he was out of his damn mind to come into his backyard for this match. McIntyre says he had got Claymore ready for Corbin. We go back to the axe throwing. Ford tried tossing an axe, but it went way too high in the air, apparently into the trees. After a break, Dawkins was ready to try and was distracted by a horse. Dawkins attempted to throw but completely missed it. They teased that he hit the horse, but instead he hit a barrel of water instead, which we were supposed to think was alcohol. And the Viking friends all got mad. And then Ford was just like, here's my cup. You can have mine. And Dawkins goes, "Fam, this ain't nothing like Thor." I wasn't amused. So Aleister Black took on Buddy Murphy, or should I just say Murphy, in another short-ass match. Match didn't even go 3 minutes. And Austin Theory was sitting at ringside. Remember last time somebody was sitting at ringside when Seth Rollins was there. Yeah, Murphy. As Black and Murphy wrestled, Most of the attention was on Seth Rollins and Austin Theory, though. Rollins helped the Theory to his feet. Rollins then directed Theory to jump into the ring. Theory would attack Black and cause the disqualification. They all attacked Black, and Theory gave Black the ATL. Rollins and Theory then hugged vigorously, like they never wanted to let go. So it looks like Austin Theory is the new disciple of Seth Rollins. Frank Martinez, we don't know what's going on with Shad Gaspard. I'm not going to say what you said because there's been no confirmation of his whereabouts as being his status. So as of right now, I'm going to pray for the best and hope for the best. Got more axe throwing here. They each got 10 throws. Only throws that hit the bullseye, which is a smaller square inside the square piece of wood. It was actually a good-sized target area, to be completely honest. He said those are the only ones that count for a point. Viking Raiders went 10-0. Raiders encouraged the Street Profits on their last shot. Hey, calm down. We're going to give you some encouragement. Smoke, 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 smoke. And Ford nailed the bullseye, and they all celebrated this. Like, they were happy that he finally figured it out. Yes, Viking Raiders won, but the Viking Raiders were happy for him because he didn't give up, and he finally got it. So basically, one team wins last week, one team wins this week, decisively. I lost my spot here. Oh, a cop car. We just start hearing sirens, and a cop car appears, and there's an axe in the windshield. The cops wanted to know who did this, and they all pointed at each other. So finally she goes, I know how to figure it out. Throw this, and hit the bullseye. And Dawkins goes, I got this. And he turns around, not looking, and woof, right behind him, bullseye, straight dead center. Ford was mystified. He's like, what? Where'd that come from? Kind of deal. And basically that's where the segment ends. The Viking Raiders were stunned. The Caruso interviews Cruz. He says he's happy to be back. Being out these last 3 weeks were the hardest 3 weeks of his life. But he knows what he's got, an opportunity. He said next week he's going to challenge for the United States Championship. Andrade better be ready. And this is when Selena Vega showed up. She said that he could cut his losses and walk away now with one good knee. Or he can risk not walking at all after he takes on Andrade next week. Cruz said Andrade better be ready because I'm ready. He wondered where Andrade was and figured that he was scared he'd get slapped again. He told Charlie that he'd become the new United States champion next week. After a break, the cops gave them a lecture as far as the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. And she was like, you know how dangerous it is to be throwing axe around here? I'm going to let you guys off with a warning because I think this one is cute. This one in Ivar. She looks at Eric and goes, you, not so much. And Street Profits found that very, very amusing when they were like, she wants Ivar, don't want you, or something like that. And it was okay. Kind of weird to cause damage to a police car, and then the police go, you're cute, I'm not going to do anything about it. So what are the cops going to do when they get back to the station and the shop's got a big old hole in the windshield? How are they going to explain that one? Huh? But with that, we go on to our main event. But before we talk about our main event, let's talk about our sponsor, Manscaped. Flowers are blooming, the grass is grooming, and it's time to mow your lawn. Thanks to our sponsor, Manscaped, you can trim the hedges below the belt safely and efficiently. I'm talking about ball trimmers. Manscaped is here to make sure your balls are smooth and smell nice. After all, it's time for some spring cleaning, folks. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming. They have forever changed the grooming game with the Perfect Package 3.0. Precise engineered tools for your family jewels. The Perfect Package 3.0 comes with the Essential Lawnmower 3.0, a waterproof cordless body trimmer, and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. This third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce manscaping accidents. Millions of balls are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaped obsesses over technology to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience, and they only use the best ingredients in their formulations. Inside the Perfect Package, you'll also find the Manscaped Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. It's starting to get hot outside, and this is crucial so your balls stop sticking to your leg. As our treat, you'll find the Crop Reviver, which will keep your balls smelling fresh, just like spring flowers. Subscribe to the Perfect Package and get a new replacement blade for your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months. Make sure your trimmer always stays hygienic and clean. For a limited time, subscribers get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, a $39 value, and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs, which I wear, and they feel amazing. This is the Perfect Package for your Perfect Package. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use code PWUnlimited at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Again, get 20% off and free shipping when you use code PWUnlimited at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use code PWUnlimited. It's spring cleaning, baby, and your balls will thank you. And as I've said before, this is targeted to men, but I know women that use this as well. So you ladies out there that need something to help you trim up your downstairs, go get a Manscaped. I also actually know a female who uses it to shave her legs because she doesn't like the feel she gets. I guess when she uses a normal bladed razor, she's got sensitive skin and she gets razor bumps. So she uses a Manscaped to shave her legs, and they're smooth as smooth can be. So yes, it's targeted to men, but at the same time, women, you can use it as well. So we got what I believe is the longest match of the night at 9 minutes. It was Drew McIntyre and King Corbin. I want to thank Kristen McNutt for the super chat donation. She says Ruby Riott is unhappy with the loss. I'm just going to read it like that. Well, I would hope she's unhappy. I wouldn't want her to be content in losing, because then who the fuck cares? So before this match, MVP and Lashley entered up on the stage, and they just wanted to watch. MVP was impressed by Corbin. He also noted that McIntyre had the prestigious WWE Championship. Lashley said McIntyre was on notice. He would pry the WWE title out of his cold, dead hands if he had to. Corbin did his spot where he slips out and back into the ring and then hits a clothesline early on. Only got him a 1 count. And I'm going to tell you right now, Drew McIntyre is the most protected guy in all of WWE as far as being booked as a strong competitor. Later in this match, Corbin hit a superplex, but McIntyre kicked out at 1 again, and Corbin was just furious. McIntyre caught him off the ropes and hit him with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Followed this up with a big boot, axe handle, and a spine buster. Corbin came back with a sidewalk slam and another 1 count. McIntyre followed this up with a future shock DDT. He went for a Claymore, but Corbin countered it into a deep 6. And here's my thing. And this goes all the way back to Shawn Michaels of the 90s. When you're setting up for your finish, why are you going to tell your opponent you're setting up for your finish? Shawn, when he used to do the stomp, boom, 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 boom. The faster he would get, the closer he gets to when he's going to hit it. Boom, 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 super kick. So when you do your 3, 2, 1, run for the Claymore, you're just telling your opponent when you're coming at him. I always thought that was kind of dumb and something that wouldn't work in a real fight. But Corbin hits the deep six and gets a 2. After getting a bunch of 1s, his finisher gets a 2, so that's good. Well, his signature move. McIntyre then avoided his finish, the end of days, and hit a headbutt. He followed this soon after with a Claymore kick for the victory. After the match, McIntyre yelled at Lashley, stating that if he wants him, he can come have him. He'd be more than willing to take on Bobby Lashley. And they went off the air as McIntyre posed with the belt in the middle of the ring. So it looks like Bobby Lashley will be challenging Drew McIntyre at Backlash for the championship. I think this should be fun. I think this should be a really good match. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, I believe, would work really well together, actually, because they're two power guys. They're both strong, and they're both very solid in what they do in the ring. With that, I do have a couple of text messages I do want to read. If you want to send in your thoughts, you can do so to 510-906-1341. Person says, what did you think about the UFC fight this weekend? I only watched the main event because I accidentally missed the whole show, but then I went back and watched the main event, and I thought it was good. I thought it was a good main event. Person says, has there been any updates to the Shad Gaspar situation since your last video? No. Person here says, Tim, how can Kevin Owens return tonight when he is from Canada? Why can't? Because Kevin Owens lives in Florida. Unlike other people that work for WWE, when he signed with NXT, he moved his family to Orlando because he had to be training at... When he signed with WWE, he was one of the ones that they signed and had working out at the Performance Center every day. So in turn, he moved his family to Orlando. A lot of people do it. I mean, there was a whole series on WWE's YouTube channel that ended up on their WWE network about Matt Riddle moving his whole family to Orlando so he can be working out and training at the Performance Center. That's the whole thing with Kevin Owens. I know others are stuck in Canada like the Singh brothers and Bobby Roode, but Owens lives in Florida, in Orlando, so it's all good for him. Person says, is Austin Theory the newest disciple? What's going on with AOP? One of the members of AOP is injured. I can't remember which one. And yes, Austin Theory is now a disciple of of Seth Rollins. Person says, hey Tim, did you watch Undertaker Chapter 2 last night? What are your thoughts? I watched it yesterday. Yes, I watched it actually as soon as I woke up in the morning because they say that it premieres at a certain time on the WWE Network, but actually the episodes go up like first thing in the morning on Sundays, so you can watch them whenever. But I did like it a lot. If you guys followed on Twitter, I gave a couple thoughts on it. Like, I didn't know that Primo helped train The Undertaker for one of his matches, for his John Cena WrestleMania match. And then the whole, I'm done after Roman. And then it took him 8 months before he actually watched the match back with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 33. And he just goes, I got to redeem myself. He got himself a personal trainer, started doing CrossFit, and had WWE send him a ring that he can hide near his home in an old jet ski repair shop. And he started training and got himself in probably the best shape he had been in like 5 years. Better shape than before the Roman match, before even the Brock Lesnar WrestleMania match. So I thought it was really good. So with that, I do want to say thank you guys for joining me here tonight as we talked about Monday Night Raw. I want to thank everybody who watches live and thank everybody who watches later right here on YouTube. You can follow us on social media, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram, just search for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. You can follow me on Twitter at TimmyBuddy. And also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. I believe I'm going to be streaming on Twitch here in a little while. So follow me there, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. So it should be up there here shortly. So with that, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you next time.